floor, hip width apart. This will ensure that you perform the exercise correctly. You should have your arms extended at your sides with your palms facing down. Make sure that your glutes are contracted firmly and that your hips are raised off the ground. This will help you create a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. You should focus your strength on your glutes rather than your back in order to achieve the desired results. It is recommended that you attempt pressing your heels into the floor in order to properly stimulate your glutes. Hold this elevated position for 20 seconds while maintaining a normal breathing pattern. Then, gradually decrease while maintaining control of the movement. The deliberate contraction of the glutes throughout the workout is the most important factor in achieving the best possible outcomes. Just for a moment, picture yourself holding a coin between your glutes. An optimal level of contraction would be this one. Incorrectly arching the lower back to an extreme degree. There are 4 exercises that may be done at home to help you regain leg strength after the age of 50. Have you observed that your thighs are getting smaller? Is the pain in your knees more severe than it should be? Is your equilibrium faltering in circumstances that were once straightforward? If this is the case, you have most likely sought out potential alternatives and come across the time-honored recommendation that you should walk 10,000 steps every day. It is unfortunate, but the reality is that this will not be sufficient to restore the strength of your muscles. The worst possible outcome is as follows. The symptoms that begin with weakness and unbalance will, when you least expect it, progress into falls that could potentially end your independence if you do not begin doing what needs to be done now. If you do not start doing what needs to be done today, these symptoms will begin. They say that the legs are the first place where dying begins. Consequently, in order to help you restore strength in your legs, today you will learn 4 important exercises. What's more, you can perform all of these exercises in the comfort of your own home, without the need for any specialized equipment or a gym membership. Exercises like these target the primary areas in which people over the age of 50 have the most rapid loss of strength. This includes the thighs, glutes, calves, and stabilizing muscles. It would be helpful if you could provide your name and the city from which you are seeing our material in the comment section before we begin. Perform the first exercise. Calf raises while standing. Let's begin with the foundation of all strength and balance, which is your calves that you have. On the other hand, calves are excessively overlooked in standard training plans, despite the fact that they are essential necessary for your mobility. Many people are unaware of this contradiction. The fact that calves are thought to be the second heart of the human body is another fascinating fact on the subject. The reason for this is that when you walk, these muscles contract and relax, which helps to counteract the effects of gravity and pump blood back to the heart. As a result of the relaxation, beginners over the age of 50 should begin with 2 sets of 10 repetitions, with a rest period of 60 seconds in between each set. Increase the number of repetitions to 3 sets of 15 more as you feel stronger. If you want to take the exercise to the next level after a few weeks, try performing it on just one leg at a time, making sure to always perform it with assistance for your safety. Exercise 2. Despite the fact that the regular squat is a fantastic exercise, the Bulgarian split squat is ideal for our particular objective because it possesses several advantages that make it far more effective. The primary distinction is that it trains each leg independently, which of these muscles that occurs around the age of 50. A significant number of individuals experience circulation issues, swelling in the legs, and even varicose veins. In addition, having strong calves is essential for maintaining their balance. Your ankle is stabilized and protected from tripping with each stride that you take thanks to these shoes. It should come as no surprise that studies have shown that senior adults who have development in their calves have a 30% lower risk of falling. In order to complete the calf raise, you should begin by standing with your feet shoulder width apart, preferably close to a wall or chair should you feel the need for support. You should maintain a straight spine and look forward rather than down. Raise your heels off the ground and stand on the balls of your feet as high as you can go, up to your maximum potential. It is important to maintain this position for 2 seconds while feeling the total contraction of your calves. After that, gradually lower yourself while maintaining control of the action until your heels once again make contact with the floor. Before we start, I would appreciate it if you could tell me where you are coming from today. It would be greatly appreciated if you could leave a remark below and ask any questions that you might have. Additionally, make sure you don't forget to click the box that says subscribe and enable notifications so that you don't miss any of the best health information that Senior Health Tips has to offer. And if you are currently watching, I would like to know whether you are on board with me. In the comments section, put 1 if you feel that this video speaks to you for some reason. In that case, type 0. Full range of motion is where the secret lies in this situation. There are a lot of people who give themselves short, fast raises that don't deliver the full rewards. When your heels make contact with the floor, you should experience a little stretching sensation. And when you are on the balls of your feet, you should feel a significant contraction. To generate momentum, you should never swing your body. Your calf muscles should be the only ones responsible for the movement. At no point during the execution should you bend your knees, as this will cause the work to be transferred to other areas of your leg. One of the most common errors that I catch a lot of people doing is that they do not respect the whole range of motion. You will not be able to get the benefits of stretching the muscle fibers, which is essential for gaining strength, if you do not totally lower yourself till your heel strikes the floor. To begin, which is essential because as we get older, we have a tendency to create muscular imbalances, with one leg being stronger than the other. As a result of the Bulgarian split squat, both legs are provided with the necessary amount of stimulation. This exercise has a number of amazing benefits, one of which is that it works the stabilizing muscles of the hip and knee simultaneously, which not only improves strength, but also improves coordination and balance. It has been demonstrated through research that those who consistently engage in the Bulgarian split squat experience 40% reduced knee pain when climbing stairs. Furthermore, this exercise is quite effective at activating the gluteus medius, which is a muscle that is frequently inactive in persons over the age of 50, but is necessary for maintaining lateral stability while walking. Due to the weakness of this muscle, the likelihood of sustaining injuries to the hip and knee increases. To begin, position yourself so that you are standing approximately 1 step in front of a bench, sofa, or chair that is supportive. Ensure that your front foot remains firmly planted on the ground as you position the top of your rear foot on the support of your choice. Continue to maintain a straight back and a constricted abdominal region. The next step is to bend your front knee and bring your body closer to the ground, as if you were performing a squat on 2 legs. As far as you are able to go without experiencing any discomfort, lower yourself till your front thigh is parallel to the floor. In order to return to the beginning position, you will need to push via the heel of your front leg. The most important thing to remember in this situation is to keep your front knee in line with your foot and to avoid allowing it to fall inward. The ball of your foot should not be the focus of your weight. Rather, it should be centered on the heel of your front leg. It is the most common mistake to allow your front knee to extend beyond the line of your toes, which causes the joint to be subjected to pressure that is not essential. There is also a common misunderstanding that involves leaning the trunk forward too far, which causes the lower back to become overloaded. At all times, maintain an upright posture as if you were pleased to display your chest. Another common error that individuals make is that they just complete a half squat, which is not a sufficient amount of lowering. Do not place all of your body weight on your back leg. This is yet another essential point to keep in mind. The sole purpose of the back foot is to act as a point of equilibrium. It is not the primary support basis. In the beginning, you should perform 2 sets of 8 repetitions for each leg, switching between the 2 sets. Between each set, take a 90-second break. Gradually raise the number of repetitions to 3 sets of 12 as your strength and self-assurance improve. After a few weeks, if you feel that it is too easy, you can add weight by holding little water bottles or packages of rice. This will help you feel more challenged. If you wake up the next day and notice that your thighs and glutes are experiencing some little muscle fatigue, you should not be frightened. Experiencing pain in the joints is the only warning symptom. Be sure to subscribe to the channel before we proceed with the rest of the conversation. Having consistent access to knowledge that is accurate and founded on scientific research is what will assist you in making progress with regard to your long-term health in the realm of strength training. 3. Perform the exercise. Isometric glute bridge. We have now arrived at an exercise that appears to be straightforward, but is actually quite effective in regaining strength in the glutes and the lower back region. Isometric glute bridge exercises are essential after the age of 50 because they target the posterior core of the body, which includes the muscles that are responsible for maintaining our erect and stable posture. Although the majority of people are unaware of this fact, the glutes are the largest muscles in the human body. Unfortunately, they are also the muscles that become the most weak as a result of the sedentary lifestyle that is frequently associated with aging. When you have weak glutes, your pelvis will tilt forward, which will cause a significant amount of strain to be exerted in the lumbar region. It should not come as a surprise that 80% of persons who suffer from persistent lower back pain also have weaker glutes. There is yet another significant advantage to this activity. Because it strengthens the muscles that support your spine, it significantly lowers the likelihood that you will suffer from a disc herniation or any other type of back injury. It has been found that men over the age of 50 who have powerful glutes have better prostate health. This is because strong glutes promote blood circulation in the region. As an additional benefit, the isometric bridge exercises the hamstrings, the back of the thighs, and other muscles that are necessary for walking for longer distances and ascending stairs without experiencing knee pain. Lie on your back on a mat or other comfortable surface, with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, which results in a curve that puts pressure on the vertebrae, is the most prevalent misconception. At the point when you are lifting, your spine should be in a straight line with your hips. An additional common misunderstanding is that the hips are not raised sufficiently, and that the individual remains in a position that is intermediate and does not fully exercise the glutes. Additionally, a lot of people sit with their feet either too far away from or too near to their bodies. Your knees should be at a right angle of 90 degrees when you are in the optimal position, which is when your hip is lifted. The effectiveness of the exercise is diminished if the knees are either too closed or too open. Allowing the knees to fall outward or inward is a mistake that is not only subtle, but also significant. Throughout the entirety of the activity, make sure that they are pointed forward and parallel to each other. To begin, maintain the position for 15 seconds, then take a 30 sacks of rice, or even shopping bags are all examples of these types of items. By maintaining your arms at your sides and holding one weight in each hand, you can maintain your balance. First, begin walking normally in a straight line while maintaining an upright stance and a modest contraction of the abdominal muscles. Proceed approximately 20 steps forward, make a cautious turn, and then come back to the starting location. In order to do this, you must maintain a level shoulder position and fight against the natural urge to tilt to the sides. When you are walking, make sure to keep a controlled rhythm by taking steps that are strong and intentional. Instead of looking down, you should look forward, as if you were trying to keep a book in second break and repeat the process 5 times. When your endurance improves, you should raise the length of the contraction to 30 seconds while maintaining the same rest period for 8 repetitions. It is recommended that you try the unilateral version after a few weeks for an added challenge. One leg should be extended while the other leg is kept bent. This will allow you to maintain your lifted hip with just one leg. For the purpose of redressing imbalances between the sides of the body, this is a great method. Additionally, it is important to remember that your breathing should be consistent and under control, and there should be no strain in your shoulders or neck. This workout trains the entire body in a way that perfectly mimics the movements that farmers do when carrying heavy buckets across the field. It is called the farmer's walk, and it was inspired by the movements that farmers make as they are walking across the field. In order to improve the neurological link between the muscles and the brain, this workout trains the body in an asymmetrical manner, so producing a regulated imbalance that drives your brain to undergo adaptation. It is essential to re-establish this connection in order to regain the motor coordination that naturally declines with age. There is yet another remarkable advantage of the farmer's walk, which is that it helps strengthen the forearms and grip, which are features that are frequently overlooked, yet essential for complete autonomy. It is necessary to have 2 things of equal weight in order to accomplish tasks such as opening a jar or firmly grasping a handrail when climbing stairs. Before we start, I would appreciate it if you could tell me where you are coming from today. It would be greatly appreciated if you could leave a remark below and ask any questions that you might have. Additionally, make sure you don't forget to click the box that says subscribe and enable notifications so that you don't miss any of the best health information that SeniorHealth Tips has to offer. And if you are currently watching, I would like to know whether you are on board with me. In the comments section, put 1 if you feel that this video speaks to you for some reason. In that case, type 0. Water bottle balanced on your head. One of the most typical errors that people make is selecting weights that are excessively heavy to begin with, which can lead to posture impairments. Begin with something that is less heavy. The practice of shrugging your shoulders toward your ears, which results in unneeded stress in the neck, is another common misunderstanding. In addition, a lot of people make the error of compensating for the weight by bending their trunk to the sides with each step. Your objective should be to maintain the trunk in a posture that is exactly upright, as if it were being dragged upward by an invisible thread at the very top of your head. The act of holding your breath while performing the exercise is yet another minor inaccuracy. While you are walking, make sure that your breathing is fluid and regular. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Begin by performing 3 sets of walks consisting of 20 steps forward and 20 steps back, with a 6-second break in between each set. In order to gradually raise the weight that you are carrying, you should gradually increase the distance that you are walking to, 30 steps in each direction, as your strength and stability develop. You will know that you are doing it correctly when you are able to walk with an upright posture, and there is no substantial side-to-side oscillation when you are walking. Although you should feel a minor stiffness in your forearms, this should not be the limiting factor in the exercise that you are performing. Bonus exercise: wall squat. As a bonus, I'll introduce the wall squat. In the front of your thighs, rather than in your knees, you will know that you are performing the exercise correctly. Now, in addition to these core exercises, I would like to reveal to you a secret that will increase your results even further: the creatine. There is a widespread misconception that supplements such as creatine are only appropriate for younger bodybuilders. However, scientific evidence demonstrates that this is not the case. Creatine is a naturally occurring substance that is produced by your body, primarily in the liver. It is stored in the muscles so that it can be used as a source of energy when engaging in strenuous activity. After the age of 50, our natural production of creatine and our capacity to retain it in our muscles both begin to diminish significantly on their own. All of these factors contribute to the gradual decline in strength and muscle mass that comes with advancing age. As opposed to what most people believe, creatine does not cause renal problems in persons who are otherwise healthy. Not only did creatine supplementation increase muscle performance, but it also had surprisingly positive impacts on cognitive function and brain health, according to a study that was conducted not too long ago with persons over the age of 60. Additionally, creatine causes an increase in the amount of water that is retained within muscle cells, which can assist with the hydration of cells and the overall function of the metabolic system. This indicates that men and women over the age of 50 who exercise will recover more quickly and will have a decreased chance of injury. The dosage that is recommended is between 3 and 5 grams per day, ideally after exercise, and it should be taken with a meal that contains carbs in order to enhance absorption. Before we start, which is an excellent exercise to perform on days when your joints are more sensitive, or when you are just starting out on your quest to become more strong. The wall squat is particularly beneficial because it nearly completely eliminates contact on the joints, while at the same time giving a tremendous stimulus for the muscles of the thighs and the glutes. It is possible that this is the most secure form of exercise to begin strengthening for individuals who have a history of knee problems. In addition to strengthening the legs, the wall squat is a fantastic exercise for building muscular endurance, which is a component of physical fitness that experience a significant decline after the age of 50. Individuals who possess a high level of muscular endurance are able to ascend multiple flights of stairs or walk for extended periods of time without experiencing undue weariness. To begin, arrange yourself so that your back is against a smooth wall and your feet are shoulder width apart. After that, place yourself around 12 inches in front of the wall. As you slowly descend, bend your knees until your thighs are parallel to the floor. This should make you feel as though you are sitting in an imaginary chair. Maintain a position in which your knees are in line with your ankles, and do not allow them to protrude beyond the line of your toes. In order to improve your balance, you can either keep your arms relaxed at your sides or extend them in front of you. Initially, you should hold this position for 30 seconds while maintaining a normal breathing pattern and keeping your abdominal muscles slightly tensed. Following that, return to the beginning posture by sliding up along the wall while applying pressure via your heels. Leaving the hip higher than the knees is the most common mistake, and it dramatically limits the benefits of the exercise. During the final posture, your thighs should be positioned so that they form a 90-degree angle with your trunk. When you balance your body weight on the balls of your feet rather than your heels, you are making another common mistake. Additionally, a lot of people have an abnormally arched lower back, which actually moves it away from the wall. Maintain touch with the wall for the entire exercise, including the lumbar region, and keep your complete spine in contact with it. If this is challenging for you, it is possible that you are going beyond the level of flexibility you now possess. It is usual to breathe. You shouldn't make the mistake of holding your breath simply because you are in a position of authority. To begin, hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, then take a break for 90 seconds. And this process should be repeated 3 times. As your endurance starts to develop, progressively increase the intensity until you are able to keep it up for 60 seconds. By the time you feel a controlled burning sensation, I would appreciate it if you could tell me where you were coming from today. It would be greatly appreciated if you could leave a remark below and ask any questions that you might have. Additionally, make sure you don't forget to click the box that says subscribe and enable notifications so that you don't miss any of the best health information that SeniorHealth Tips has to offer. And if you are currently watching, I would like to know whether you are on board with me. In the comments section, put 1 if you feel that this video speaks to you for some reason. In that case, type 0. Because of this, if you are interested in seeing all of the wonderful benefits of taking this supplement after the age of 50, which only 1% of people are aware of, we have left a video that is currently playing on the screen that demonstrates each and every one of these benefits. Remember that you should look into it. I am grateful that you have watched this far, and I pray that God will bless you, my friend.